So what's up, girl? You gonna come back to my house and we're gonna watch some Netflix, chill, maybe order a pizza, and further get to know each other? What you say, babe? Oh, it's like that? Well, fine. Screw you then. I got places I gotta go, people I gotta kill. I'll holler at you later if you lucky. Bye, Felicia. But anyways, what's up, pros and hoes? Whatever floats your goat. It's your boy Relentless, and today I'm just bringing a video. It's not the week three patch notes, but it's more or less an idea of what week three um, will persist of, but more or less what things will be tweaked. And the patch notes will for week 3 PTS will be out in the days to come as we get ever closer to it. And I like these changes. Um, and one of the main points, the secret gear set is out as of now. They pretty much saying it was a good idea, but when compared to all the other gear sets, it's not unique enough, and they want to make the new gear sets and the gear sets yet to come for further updates and patches to be unique ones, and this one just wasn't unique enough, and don't think it would actually be utilized in the way they initially thought it would be, so therefore it is out. The Historian cheese, as far as the skill builds, using the Historian, relying only and stacking only in electronics and still getting the Historian and still being able to draw people. Now it's going to have pretty much a firearms mentality to it. In Ubisoft's post that Yannick put out, and that link is in the description below, you can go read it in full details of what's going on. The Historian is now changed to be a weapon centered around firearm stat, a place where damage scaling with your build investment feels more natural. So therefore, you can't just more or less stack electronics and reap the whole full benefits of the Historian, which is a good thing. Secondly, the Caduceus was meant to create a low-grade sustained healing role, useful for situations where you have constant low-grade damage. A few adjustments will be made to make sure it fills the role as and isn't being abused. It will receive a cooldown on how often it can hit each player, to prevent a group to stack multiple users of Caduceuses, creating too much healing per second. Secondly, it was being used predominantly to sustain by almost every type of build, making it dangerously close to a must-pick, something we want to avoid. To that effect, the healing amount now scales with skill power, putting the weapon in the support player's handbag. Moving on to survivability, they're revamping how health works. There are answers in the Ubisoft's health facts, and you can find that on forums.ub.com/show thread health explained, and it goes on pretty much a recap of it. While the reduced health amounts on major bonuses were good for build diversity, we feel we should go a little higher with the base health a player has in the end game and have increased that by around 37%. So your base health pool that you start out with, it getting increased by 37%. Extended battles of PvP, which is a good thing, and not just these 5 to 10 second little incursions to where one either gets melted or gets blasted by seekers turrets, or it makes it more fun. So that's good. Medkits, their cooldown was really long, and they're going to be reducing them in kind of a middle ground of the way it used to be before the PTS and the way it actually is on week 2 of PTS. So that's a good thing for you PvPers out there. Moving on to the new incursion, most people was saying that getting to the end on legendary was difficult enough the way it is, that it was more or less, what if you put all that time and effort into getting there at the end level of the incursion, and then you wipe and then you get nothing. So there was not much reward in that, so they're putting a checkpoint in the middle of the incursion, so that way if you wipe before you get to the end, then there's a checkpoint, you get to respawn, and then you only have to finish the end part of it. Now moving on to other things, reloading and sprinting, that's done. Normalization, to prevent everybody that was on PTS2 from doing nothing but tack builds and specking into nothing but skill power. This is what they don't want this. They don't want it, the meta to shift back to electronics and skill power as one-shot stickies, small incursions where it's just based on a lucky BFB, or get wiped by just a cluster of secret mines, or get easily taken out from somebody just throwing down a turret, running around in circles, and making you sit and cover. So they're going to be balancing the skill power to more or less reflect the damage output of weapons. And Yannick goes on to say, generally speaking, guns did the right amount of damage, but skills did a little too much on PTS Week 2. We look forward to feedback on these changes in the next phase. They don't want the skill meta, like I said, coming back. He says, we saw the pendulum shift very quickly to builds focused on electronics and skill power being the dominating ones on Week 2 PTS. This was a result of a revamp of how skill power scales, where we removed diminishing returns and made investing heavily into that niche paid off. We are very happy to see skill power builds come back to life, but our goal is to have a large amount of different builds and playstyles viable, so we will be making adjustments accordingly. They're changing the cooldowns and power of skills to make sure that other types of builds are more viable again. We're making cooldowns at low skill power a little shorter than they were on Week 2, allowing DPS, balance, and tank builds more frequent access to their tools. We've also made it so that skill power does not lower cooldowns as much as it did, meaning that we don't reach quite as short cooldown at high skill power levels as we did on Week 2 PTS. We also made adjustments to skill haste, to rein in what was possible to achieve in terms of very fast cooldowns. More details to come in the patch notes, but we look forward to seeing how the adjustments feel to the players. Support station range, they're adjusting it where you're going to get more range out of your support station, but you're going to have less of a effect as far as your health regen. And also, if the support stations overlap, then you're not going to receive double the amount of healing speed, which is a good thing. They're introducing better counters to these things, such as the one sticky disrupt that you can fire. It'll no longer have to proc as far as shooting on the ground and then detonate it wherever you shoot it at. It will detonate wherever it's shot. So that'll help out when it comes to the seeker mines, and also with the countering of skilled objects such as support stations, turrets, or whatnot. They're more susceptible to explosion and fire damage. It doesn't make them any squishier than what they are, more or less, but it'll have a greater effect like it's supposed to when it comes to getting hit with grenades, or when the seeker mines hit them, or fire turrets. But that's basically it, just going over the brief summary of what Yannick put out on Ubisoft.com. Like I said, you can find that link in the description below. I hope this was informative to you. I hope you enjoyed it. If it did, please smash that thumbs up button and let me know in the comment section below and what you guys think of these changes from Week 2 PTS and then the changes that are yet to come in Week 3 PTS. I look forward to hearing you guys' feedback, because as you know, I stay on Twitter trying to get as much information I can for all things Division and what's yet to come and what's going to be in the future coming, and I do this all for you. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was somewhat informative. And if you thought so, leave your comments in the comment section below and tell me what you guys think of the changes that will be forthcoming. And then those patch notes will be out in the next couple of days, so be on the lookout for them. When they do hit, I'll go into more detail on those and what exact changes have been made as far as percentages and stats wise, and I really look forward into seeing that come out. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys fudging later.
I got broads in Atlanta, just to the lean the family, credit cards in the scammers, hitting the licks in the van.